Hail to all, this is Bear Nerd Fun. Well, got some Jedi Paxis updates. I figured I'd jump on real quick, go live instead of make a video. Brand new alleged Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker leaks breaks down film. Brand new alleged Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker leaks have surfaced on Reddit from user Jedi Paxis. Jedi Paxis previously unveiled a number of details about the film in lengthy leaks over the past few months. Jedi Paxis claims they were contacted by a news source with details about the film. Jedi Paxis explains he vetted this information with his other sources, confirmed the news source's validity. Jedi Paxis does detail that most of this information does mirror his previous breakdown of the film following reshoots and edits, so he only adds information that provides further details. However, it still appears that he breaks down almost the entire film. He details that the film begins with Kylo Ren slaughtering natives in the red-lit woods in order to obtain Darth Vader's Wayfinder. The footage is seen in the trailers. Ren discovers the Wayfinder, which is a pyramid-shaped object. He then looks into his tie that allows him to travel to Shigol. In order to get to Eshigol, he travels through a red nebula like a section of space. Jedi Paxis notes his section of space is seen in recent TV spots with resistance ships later in the movie. After arriving in Eshigol, Kylo Ren discovers that what appears to be a science lab. He then hears Palpatine's voice, who claims that he made Snoke and that he's been orchestrating everything from the shadows. Jedi Paxis then describes what Palpatine looks like in his scene. With regard to Palpatine's initial appearance, flashes of lightning reveal Palpatine's face, but with white eyes attached by the back to some vertical medical arm, leading to something we don't see. Palpatine then details his creation of a large armada and orders Kylo Ren to locate Rey. Kylo believes the order is to kill Rey, but Palpatine warns him she is not what you think she is. The film will then cut to the ice asteroid base, and we see Poe, Finn, and Chewie on the Millennium Falcon playing holo chess. There's some nostalgia and humor in the scene with Poe and Finn insinuating Chewbacca cheats. However, Poe then points out it's because Chewbacca has much more experience than them. When Chewbacca goes to check on something, Poe and Finn turn off the game because they are losing. Poe and Finn received a satchel from an important in an attempt to discover who the mole is. But the informant stays mum. In the scene where Rey trains on the jungle base, Jedi Paxis source does not recall any training where she attempts to communicate with Jedi. However, she does get frustrated during her training when she chops down a few trees with her lightsaber. One of the trees even damages BB-8. Finn and Poe arrive on the jungle base in the Millennium Falcon and meet up with Rey. However, the Falcon is on fire due to something called light speed skipping. Rey apparently is not pleased with Poe for setting the ship on fire. The source details the combined might of Kylo Ren's First Order and Palpatine forces are called to final order. The leaks also indicate that Luke Skywalker apparently wasn't just hiding away in exile, but he has been attempting to find Eshigol, but was unable to locate a Wayfinder to get there. The leak also notes Rose Tico is relegated to the background character who merely offers motivational support to the team. The leaked information then shifts to a First Order meeting with Kylo Ren, who is attempting to foray out a spy. The meeting is where audiences are introduced to General Pryde, who apparently previously served Palpatine during the Empire. Following the meeting, Kylo Ren mentions Hux, but then changes the subject quickly after. The leaked information then transitions to the scene of Pasana, where Kylo Ren and Rey force bond. After Rey snaps out of the bond, she and her compatriots are discovered by some stormtroopers. Fortunately, they are able to escape, and with the help of some locals in Lando Calrissian, the stormtroopers are able to track down Rey and company during the speeder chase seen in TV spots. One of the stormtroopers hits the speeder. Rey and company are on and sends them into a quicksand trap. While in the quicksand, Finn shouts to Rey that he has something to tell her, but before he can say it, they are sucked down. Poe then questions Finn about what he was going to say, but brushes it off, saying they can talk about it later. Poe responds, accusing Finn of wanting to just speak to Rey alone. The thread is apparently not picked up in the film moving forward. Down in the tunnels, they discover a sandworm. However, the source indicates the sandworm looks more like a viper. The source notes there isn't a battle, but Rey uses her life force to heal it. After being healed, it moves, unveiling an exit. The source then indicates that the new droid, Dio, is discovered on Ochi's ship. The droid was once Ochi's property and apparently been abused pretty bad. BB-8 is the one who discovers and reboots him. Regarding Chewbacca's capture, and the source details that Chewbacca goes out to search for Rey, but is captured by 2 troopers. They can't say stormtroopers? Wonder about that. That might have been Knights of Ren. Finn discovers that Chewbacca has been captured after he sees him being escorted in cuffs onto a transport. The source confirms that Rey will slice Kylo's tie wing off during the flip sequence. Yeah, remember that flip sequence? Ooh, buddy. They also detail that Kylo Ren pushes the transport. Rey thinks Chewie is on his way to push Rey's limits. The entrance of Zori Bliss is apparently while she repeatedly threatens Poe and notes that the price on his head would recoup her losses. Well, it wouldn't be a thing without a little bit of man-bad thrown in there, would it? During the memory hack sequence, C-3PO takes some shots of R2-D2 when it is mentioned the astromech could restore C-3PO's memory. However, 3PO makes it clear he has no confidence in R2's memory banks. After the hack, 3PO translates the Sith dagger before rebooting. However, his old memory is not restored, and there is some humor with 3PO exclaiming that Baba Frick, the penis-looking character Baba Frick is one of his oldest friends. There is a scene with Zori and Poe reminiscing about the past, and she tells him about the medallion. However, she does try and get him to leave with her, but she does eventually hand over the medallion once they come under attack from the First Order or Final Order. Rey will have a vision when she grabs the Sith dagger in Kylo's quarters on the Star Destroyer. She sees Ochi attacking and killing her parents in a city setting not on Jakku. They are apparently killed because they refuse to tell Ochi where Rey is. Ochi was apparently sent to retrieve Rey, not kill her. The source indicates this is not revealed until the end of the film. General Hux helps the Resistance escape Kylo Ren's Star Destroyer. He asks Poe to shoot him in the arm, but Poe shoots him in the leg instead. Hux explains he doesn't care about the First Order winning, but only wants Kylo Ren to lose. Man, he got some serious hate going on for Kylo Ren. After the Resistance heroes escape, Hux is executed by General Pride for his betrayal. Who didn't see that coming? The source indicates the location of the Death Star wreckage is referred to as Endor. They tell Jedi Paxis it's called out as Endor, not the Forest Moon, though it still seemed a bit debatable. We see Ewoks looking skyward during the planetary celebration, but not during the Endor sequence. Jana's backstory is revealed. Is that Jana's? Jana, whatever. Is revealed on Endor that she and her team are apparently ex-First Order troopers who mutinied when they were ordered to fire on civilians. Rey then travels to the Death Star wreckage on a water skiff she takes. She disobeys the advice to wait until dark, when the tides die down. Instead, she takes off right away. Jedi Paxis indicates his source tells him that while on the Death Star, Rey interacts with dark vision of herself after touching the Wayfinder. The Dark Rey then essentially defeats Rey in a lightsaber duel, noting she could be much more powerful if she submitted to the dark side. The source indicates Rey is snapped out of the vision by Leia, Paxis relays. They claim that right after that, we skip to her weakened being led out of the command room back to base, and someone comments that it will take everything she has left to reach her son. During the battle sequence with Kylo Ren on the Death Star, Rey seems to be letting anger take control of her, and she even force pushes Finn and Jenna out of the battle zone. In order for Rey to gain an upper hand on Kylo Ren, the source indicates that Leia's final word is Ben. It's enough to distract him to allow Rey to stab him in the gut. However, she quickly heals him. The source then confirms that Han Solo will appear in the film, however they note, not a Force ghost. It's as if he's standing there alive again. Apparently, Han Solo gives Kylo some words of encouragement that mirror their conversation from The Force Awakens. The source explains that I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Line is included. In fact, Kylo even holds a lightsaber in the same spot, but this time he tosses it into the Death Star wreckage. Rey returns to Ahch-To and attempts to toss lightsaber into the ruins of the wreckage. The TIE use to travel there. However, Luke appears and says that the lightsaber shouldn't be discarded. On Ahch-To, Jedi Paxis indicates that a number of young Luke Leia scenes are included. His source tells him, style-wise, almost looks like a droid projection. The content is that it's Leia's last remaining session and she's sparring with Luke, but he mentions she stops and quits being a Jedi because she had a vision of her son fall to the dark side in death. Jedi Pax's source also confirms that both Luke and Leia know that Rey is a Palpatine, but choose to train her anyway. Rey then leaves Shigol, transmits the path to Exegol and the Resistance. However, she does so in Luke's old X-Wing, which causes some initial confusion. Nostalgia sandwich much? Back to the article. While Rey transmits the path, the Resistance apparently still doesn't have enough data to get there. Finn discovers that Dio knows the way, and the Resistance set off after Rey. Lando leaves in the Millennium Falcon to get reinforcements. After arriving at Shigol, Rey meets zero Resistance encounters in the Sith throne. Palpatine merges in the mechanical arm and reveals to Rey everything to her, including that the assassin was meant to retrieve her, never to kill her. After Palpatine reveals his information, they are summoned by hundreds, if not thousands, of Palpatine's acolytes. He then attempts to goad her into killing him while also noting that she could become Empress Palpatine and take control of the fleet. Kylo Ren, who is now once again Ben Solo, also enters Estegol. However, he gets his ass handed to him by the Knights of Ren. The source confirms that Rey initiates with him and gives him Leia's lightsaber. Palpatine then comments about their bond before sucking their life to restore his, apparently. His white eyes turn to a yellow-orange of the Sith. The source notes that the signal to control the Armada is not being bounced around, impossible to stop. Instead, the Resistance forces head straight to the flagship. The source notes that they were disappointed by the Sith Trooper in describing them as no better than the average Stormtrooper from the original trilogy. However, they noted that due to the sheer numbers, they are overwhelmingly the Resistance landing party. The Resistance ships in the sky also being overwhelmed by the sheer number of Final Order ships. Poe begins to apologize, but is cut off when Lando arrives. With the arrival of reinforcements, Finn and Jannah attempt to suicide mission to toss grenades into the hatch that leads to the signal transmitter. Their ploy works. The source also confirms that upon the arrival of the new Resistance forces, Palpatine laughs and lightning storms a good chunk of the fleet out of the sky. Even Poe's X-Wing is shut off for a good bit. Jedi Paxis then details that his source confirms that Palpatine throws Ben into a ravine, claiming he's the last in the Skywalker line. The source also confirms that Rey hears voices such as Yoda, Luke, Leia, Mace Windu, and others. These voices apparently give her strength to stand up as she stands. Palpatine attempts to lightning attack her, but she blocks it with one of her lightsabers. They appear to be at a stalemate before Rey pulls up her second lightsaber, forming an X that allows her to deflect the lightning back at him. Hey, most Jedis only need one lightsaber to do that. What's up with that? Palpatine then disintegrates and explodes. His death and destruction cause the arena to crumble and apparently kills Rey. But Ben is not dead. He climbed out of the ravine. Upon seeing Rey, he uses the Force healing trick to give his life for her. He saves Rey, but it drains his life force. The source then claims there's a weird fanfic moment where they kiss and he dies. Oh, that's going to be horrible. I'm going to cringe. Lando saves Jannah and Finn, who were on the Star Destroyer that is now falling out of the air. It also notes that Poe and Zori Bliss are both extremely skilled pilots. During the celebration scene, Chewbacca receives a medal from Maz Kanata. Poe attempts to woo Zori, but she shakes her helmet no. Jedi Paxis source also details that this ending sees Rey returning to Tatooine to bury both Luke's and Leia's lightsabers. Rey apparently has her own lightsaber with a black and gray handle that ignites to form a yellow blade. A woman appears asking what Rey's name is. She replies, Rey. The woman asks, Rey who? Rey then sees Luke and Leia's ghosts in the distance. She then responds, Rey Skywalker. The source details that she sees them as the parents she never was able to have. Oh man, that's just some dumbass writing. Jeez. The source indicates that there really isn't an explanation on how Palpatine survived Return of the Jedi. They explain. It is pretty ambiguous. He's not really alive. It's pretty horrific in that he's basically a corpse puppet of some sort of rigging, but he's able to speak through the body via his spirit. He's also all the souls of the past Sith in the body. Eventually, he manages to restore life to the body, though I can't recall if they directly mentioned how the body was still intact, but it was a sort of horror Mad Scientist Lab. So it might be his original. Well, folks, you can come in here and read this whole thing here yourself. I just jumped on here to do a quick video instead of recording a video. Hail to the Fandom Menace, and you all just stay wonderful out there. Hail.